December 20, 1968. Lake Herman Road, Vallejo, California. It is a desolate stretch of asphalt winding through golden hills. A known lover's lane. It is pitch black. The air is biting cold. A Rambler station wagon sits parked on the gravel shoulder. Inside are David Faraday, 17, and Betty Lou Jensen, 16. It is their first date. They are innocent, unaware that they have been selected as the opening targets in a calculated campaign of terror. A second car pulls up. The headlights cut through the darkness, blinding the teenagers. A man steps out. He does not demand money. He does not speak. This is not a robbery. This is an execution. He fires into the Rambler. He forces the teenagers out into the freezing cold. David is shot in the head. Betty Lou runs, her footsteps crunching on the icy gravel. She makes it 28 feet before 5 bullets tear into her back. The man gets back into his car. He drives away into the night. The police are baffled. There are no witnesses. There is no motive. The victims had no enemies. In the language of investigation, this is a dead end. But in the language of a dark enterprise, this was merely a beta test. The killer was testing his methods. He was testing the response times of the police. He was finding his footing. He was successful, but he realized something was missing. A body count was not enough. Without an audience, murder was just a statistic. He needed to make a statement. 7 months pass. The trail grows cold. The citizens of Vallejo slowly forget the tragedy on Lake Herman Road. Then comes the 4th of July, 1969, midnight, Blue Rock Springs Park. Another lover's lane, just 4 miles from the first strike. Darlene Ferrin and Mike Mageau are sitting in Darlene's car. A vehicle pulls up. A man gets out, holding a blinding flashlight. He walks to the passenger side. Without a word, he raises a 9mm pistol and fires 5 shots through the window. Both victims are hit. The killer walks away. But from inside the car, Mike lets out an agonizing moan. The killer stops. He turns around. He walks back to the car. He methodically fires 2 more shots into each victim. Then he vanishes. Darlene dies. Miraculously, Mike survives. But this time, the killer does not stay silent. At 12:40 a.m., a payphone rings at the Vallejo Police Department. The dispatcher answers. A deep, monotone voice speaks through the receiver. The voice is calm. It is practiced. It sounds like a man reading from a script. I want to report a double murder. If you will go 1 mile east on Columbus Parkway, you will find kids in a brown car. They were shot with a 9mm Luger. I also killed those kids last year. Goodbye. Click. This is a turning point in criminal history. The killer is claiming credit. He is establishing a track record. He is telling the authorities, I am a serial operator, and I am in control. The police trace the call. It was made from a payphone located just blocks from the police station. The killer wasn't just taunting them. He was watching them. The product had been launched. Now it was time for the marketing campaign. July 1969. 3 identical handwritten letters arrive at the offices of major California newspapers. The killer includes a demand. He orders the newspapers to print his letters on their front pages by Friday afternoon. If they refuse, he promises to go on a killing rampage over the weekend. He is holding the media hostage. He is negotiating for prime real estate. Along with the letters, he includes a cipher, claiming that if the police crack the code, they will have his identity. This is brilliant, twisted gamification. He is turning his crimes into an interactive puzzle. The newspapers comply. A week later, another letter arrives. This one opens with a corporate slogan for a one-man syndicate of death. This is the Zodiac speaking. He has named himself. He has designed a logo, a circle with a cross through it, resembling the crosshairs of a rifle. He has created a fully realized, terrifying brand identity. The cipher is soon cracked. The decoded message is chilling. I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest, because man is the most dangerous animal of all. But his identity is not in the cipher. It was a bait and switch. He gave the public a puzzle, but kept the ultimate prize for himself. Every successful enterprise must evolve. If you offer the same product too long, the market loses interest. The Zodiac understood this perfectly. September 27, 1969, Lake Berryessa, Napa County. It is a bright, sunny afternoon. Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard are relaxing on a secluded peninsula. A man approaches them, but this time he is not hiding in the dark. He is putting on a show. He is wearing a handmade executioner's hood. It is black, square-shaped, and drapes down to his chest. He holds a gun. He tells Brian and Cecilia that he is an escaped convict, ordering Cecilia to tie Brian up with plastic clothesline. Then he ties Cecilia. Once they are helpless, the narrative changes. The gun is put away. The killer draws a massive, foot-long hunting knife. He stabs them, brutally, mercilessly. Before leaving, he walks up to Brian's car. He takes a black marker and writes on the car door. He draws his cross-circle logo. Beneath it, he lists the dates of his previous attacks and adds the current date. September 27, 69, 6:30 p.m. by knife. It is an invoice, a receipt for murder left at the scene of the crime. Cecilia dies 2 days later. Brian survives, giving the police a detailed description of the terrifying costume. The Zodiac's legend grows. He is no longer just a sniper in the dark. He is a theatrical monster. But theatrics carry risk. The Zodiac knows he must pivot again. He must show the authorities that nobody, anywhere, is safe. October 11, 1969, San Francisco. The Zodiac abandons the rural lovers' lanes. He enters the dense, bustling urban market of the city. Paul Stine is driving a yellow cab. He picks up a passenger in the theater district who asks to be taken to Presidio Heights, a quiet residential neighborhood. The cab parks near an intersection. The passenger pulls a 9mm pistol. He presses it to the back of Paul Stine's head and pulls the trigger. The killer leans over the front seat. He takes Stine's wallet and keys. Then he carefully tears a large, rectangular piece of fabric from the back of Paul Stine's blood-soaked shirt. He steps out and walks away into the foggy San Francisco night. But there is a glitch in the operation. 3 teenagers, watching from a window across the street, see everything. They call the police. In the chaos, a police dispatcher makes a fatal error, broadcasting the suspect's description as a black male. 2 patrol officers race to the scene, driving right past a heavy-set white man in a dark jacket. Because of the faulty radio dispatch, they do not stop him. It is the closest the Zodiac ever comes to being caught. Days later, a newspaper receives another letter. This is the Zodiac speaking. I am the murderer of the taxi driver last night. To prove it, folded inside the letter is the bloody piece of Paul Stine's shirt. The city spirals into absolute panic. He then casually mentions he might target a school bus, threatening to pick off the kiddies as they come bouncing out. The result is instant, paralyzing fear. The entire infrastructure of Northern California is disrupted by a few lines of blue ink. The Zodiac has achieved total market saturation. He owns the fear of an entire state. The investigation into the Zodiac is one of the most massive in American history, led by San Francisco Inspector Dave Toschi. Toschi is brilliant, stylish, and relentless. But his team is fighting a ghost. The Zodiac leaves clues, but they are contradictory. Boot prints belonging to military wing walkers. Fingerprints that don't match the system. A perfectly disguised voice. He sends more ciphers, including the Z340, an intricate grid of 340 symbols, so complex it acts as an impenetrable firewall for decades. The police generate thousands of suspects, but one name rises to the top of the file: Arthur Lee Allen. Allen is a former schoolteacher, a convicted felon, and a brilliant, menacing figure. He fits the profile perfectly. When police interview him, he is wearing a watch. The brand name? Zodiac. The logo? A cross over a circle. He owns the exact type of typewriter used in some letters. He wears the exact size of the military boots found at Lake Berryessa. It looks like an open and shut case, but the physical evidence fails. Allen's handwriting does not match the letters. His fingerprints do not match the bloody prints on the cab. His DNA, tested years later, does not match the saliva on the stamps of the Zodiac's envelopes. Arthur Lee Allen dies in 1992, taking his secrets to the grave. To this day, he remains the prime suspect. But the ledger was never officially closed. The letters continue into the early 1970s. The Zodiac claims to have killed 37 people. He demands that citizens wear Zodiac buttons on their clothes. He treats the public like his employees. And then, abruptly, the operation shuts down. In December 2020, an international team of private codebreakers finally cracked the Z340 cipher. The decoded message revealed no name, just more taunts. I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber, because it will send me to paradise all the sooner. The Zodiac Killer was an innovator of evil. He understood that in modern society, violence is shocking, but a narrative is unforgettable. He hacked the media, manipulated public psychology, and weaponized our own curiosity against us. He constructed a labyrinth with no exit, invited the world inside, and walked away, taking the map with him. Somewhere, out there in the dusty evidence boxes, the truth lies hidden. But the business he built, the monopoly of fear, that is still booming. And somewhere in the dark, the Zodiac is still speaking. And we are all still listening.